You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. The quest, do you guys wait till it's the most perfect day in the Black Hills and I could go ride around? Actually, I gotta save up my riding. I got a friend coming into town. He's a new motorcycle rider. He's like, oh, let's do the Black Hills. I'm like, what time you get in town? 4? I'm like, PM? We're gonna get like 1/20th of the riding we needed. He thinks it's like this cute little network of mountains. Like, no, it's pretty extensive. Dear Asshole, first I want to say thank you for Asshole Consulting for waking me up. You're one of the most influential people in my life so far. Unlike every teacher you ever had, I actually changed lives. Asshole Consulting, changing lives more than teachers ever did. I also told my younger brother as soon as I knew about you. Took him some time, but he listens to you now as well. I wish to remain anonymous. My name is so-and-so. You say you wish to remain anonymous, that you mention your name. I almost fell for it, too. 24-year-old male living in Northern California. I have one brother, grew up with both my parents until I was 16. They split later. Both were sometimes gone and sometimes present for months at a time. I only have 4 family members in the States. The rest of my entire family lives in Mexico. I have an IQ of 122. There we go. Currently have $5,000 in my name. How old are you? You're 24. You're doing all right. I live with my aunt, pay rent. Currently not working, but I am allowed to live with my aunt because I help her out in her small business. Okay, so you sort of are working. I do some of the bookkeeping and maintenance for her salon. I'm currently going to community college for HVAC repair. Okay. All right, you're not just lying around. You are doing something. Just so you have my background, my situation starts in 2011. Graduated in high school with a 2.8 GPA at the age of 18. Never really gave it a good, thorough thought of where and why to go to college. My parents and my school just kind of told me to. Stupidly, I went along, never knew about the other careers that paid well without going to college. My high school wrestling coach hooked me up with his brother to get into the Cal State Bakersfield, to do collegiate wrestling. Went there to basically wrestle, see if I could get good and get a scholarship. And then once in, I would figure out what I would major in. Why do people go to college without knowing what you're going to study? I know this is in the past, but it's just, you didn't need Worthless or anyone to come in and say, hey, don't you think you ought to I mean, it's common sense. But and then at the same time, I understand with your parents and teachers brainwashing you, like, you got it. They taking that hammer. You gotta go to college. You gotta go to college. Fuck college. The scholarship never happened and ended up double majoring in business and political science. Oh, 2 worthless degrees. I know, fucking retarded so far. I attended college from September 2011 to June 2014. On top of that, I didn't focus too well on school and partied a lot, maintaining a GPA of 2.0 to 3.0. I was in a relationship with a girl I liked a lot. We broke up, and I questioned a lot of stuff. I realized I was wasting my time when I found your channel on YouTube and decided to leave school immediately. I spent almost 3 years wasting my time. Yeah, why? Don't feel guilty about it, because whereas I really wonder, like, come on, guys, you don't need a 122 IQ to figure this out, that you shouldn't go to college unless you know what you want to study. But God, man, we just fuck over our kids by telling them shit that don't work no more. As soon as I got back, I knew I wanted to do a trade. Good. I decided to do HVAC-R because I liked it. I enrolled and was attending my community college for HVAC within 2 weeks from leaving Bakersfield. At this point, I was 21 years old, another retarded move. I had taken out loans for college at low interest and started paying them back ASAP. I paid the full amount back in 2 years. Fucking awesome, dude. Dude, that is... Look, you could have gone another year and gotten your MBA, and look how fucked you would have been then. That is awesome. Before interest could kick in, which was $16,000 in total, I paid it back by working in the trade at a residential heating and air conditioning company, sheet metal shop, and appliance repair from 2014 to 2017. You got 3 years experience. Awesome. I was making $30,000 a year while living with my aunt. When I got back, I also wasted money on having fun girls clubs and the stuff which I feel bad about. Dude, you're gonna... I don't know if you necessarily... Okay, you did waste it, but I think everybody has to go through that, because then you're gonna wonder, what did I miss out on? And I could tell you nothing. I mean, the whole world could tell you, yeah, bars and clubs are stupid, but you're not gonna scratch that itch unless you see it for yourself. And then you're like, yeah, it is stupid. So that time and money, and you only wasted 3 years. I know people still going to the fucking nightclubs in their 50s. Fuck's sake. There's this bar chain in the Twin Cities called Redstone. And if you're bored, if you happen to be in the Twin Cities and you're bored, go there on a Friday night and you want to see the saddest fucking sight in your life, it's all these washed up divorcee baby boomers. It's like the 50s, 60s plus crowd. And like these gals are just in their 80s attire. It's fucking sad. So you went like every kid would, you know, and you went and you partied and you figured out, hey, this is stupid, this is dumb, and then you left. The real issue if you stayed. Okay, so you chased girls. Nothing's wrong with that. That's fine. I could have saved up for a car, rent my own apartment, more tools or useful shit, but I didn't. Dude, forgive yourself on that. You had to do that. You did. You're gonna look back and just say, I was too hard on myself. That's what you're gonna. So don't even be hard on yourself in the first place. I went to nightclubs, although there was some really good music. There's the nightclub I went to is called First Avenue. I'd also go to Ground Zero, which had Bondage a Go-Go night, and they had hardcore industrial techno. That's what I really liked. I did moshing and all that. So there was an element of fun, but yeah, I pissed away a lot of time going to some of these clubs trying to hit on girls. It was a fucking waste. I have an EPA certification, mandatory certification for HVAC. I will have my technical certificate from a community college by May 26, 2017. Oh, that's rapidly coming up. It took me a while because I was working 40 to 50 hours a week while going to school at night. Nothing wrong with that. I took 2 classes per semester, and for 1 semester I didn't go because I was working nights for a sheet metal contractor as a pre-apprentice. I have been in the field, but I need more hands-on experience, and some of my employers have either pointed that out to me, or they just don't trust me after making some mistakes in the field. All right, well, there's your 2.8 GPA coming in. You got to up your game. Now, and under the context, under the full understanding, are these older guys? Because remember, all employers are evil cocksucking scum. It's really like, it could be you're a rookie. There's a good chance of that. It could be you're goofing up. All right, you take some constructive criticism, you take your lumps, everybody fucks up, but you got to make sure you're at your best game. But what you being at your best game allows you to do is know for a fact then that these guys are lying cocksucker sons of bitches. So another perfect example, it's related to girls because you're young and you're horny. I always made damn sure that I was the best I could be. Not when I was necessarily younger, but definitely in my 20s, I'm like, all right, I'm going to be the best that I can be. So if a girl turns me down, I know she's got the fucking problem. So I made sure I was in shape, made sure that, I'm only 5'9", 5'8". I can't do anything about that, but I made sure I was in good shape. I made sure I had skills, ballroom dance. I made sure I was funny, charming, and witty. I made sure I would, not be a creeper. So I did everything. Did it just right, did everything. So when a girl shot me down, I knew, okay, that's the one with the problem. Because it doesn't get any better than this. About the only thing you could really improve is if I was like a billionaire and like 5 inches taller. But aside from that, those things are outside of your control. So it's the same thing with employment. You make sure you don't fuck up. You make sure you put your best effort in. So if anyone then kind of complains and you look at it and say, you're complaining about what? And then then you have context. You're like, no, you're wrong. Like another thing is just a common sense test. Like even when I was 36, this is not too long ago, last real job I had, there's just this anal retentive pussy over in Wyoming. And he went through a model I had programmed, and he told me to change it because he didn't like the way this one ratio calculated. And it's like, okay, fine, I'll change it. The very next meeting, he's like, oh, these numbers are the exact same. There's something wrong with your model. There's something wrong with your model. I'm like, that's the formula you told me to change, and I changed it to the way you liked it, and now it's spitting out the number you don't like. And I knew to begin with this guy was psycho, but I didn't worry about it. I'm like, oh god, did I fuck it up? It's like, no, this guy's a dickhead. It's something you got to learn about older people. They're just older. They're not better. They're not smarter. They're not wiser. All right, some are. You gotta sense that. But a lot of these people are just older. And a lot of times they're dumber. And a lot of times they're more evil. And that's where you got to just look out. You got to be able to identify them. So if they're not matching up to they're not passing the bullshit test, they're not being logical, you did something and then you did it their way and then they bitch about it still, it's not your fault. And there's a lot of people like that in management. A lot of people like that. So Make sure you're not putting in the 2.8 GPA at your job. Put in a 4.0 GPA at your job. And then you know. Then you know whether it's you or them. Some of my employers have either pointed out to me they don't trust me after making some mistakes in the field. I like HVAC, but I want to get better. I also like the trade because my dad was a residential installer for 8 years when he lived in the U.S. I actually started off the trade with like 2,000 worth of tools that were in the garage. Now that I have no debt and know what I want to do with my life as far as career-wise, I want to do something more secure in terms of saving for my future or thinking about my future. I'm currently on a waiting list of ranked applicants for a sheet metal union, Local 104, to be called for the first-year apprentice. I also recently tested for 2 other HVAC unions for an apprenticeship in my area. I get those results in a month. I did well, but I don't think I got a top 20 rank. Top 20 rank is important to me so I can get called by the union fast and start working as a first-year apprentice soon, as in this year or very early next year. If I don't get a top 20 ranking with those 2 unions, or the other union doesn't call me within June this year, I was considering doing a mechanical maintainer job in either the United States Air Force or the U.S. Navy. I've looked into the jobs I want for each, and I have made sure that have good application in the outside world. My younger brother has been in the United States Air Force for 7 months, now working as an AGE guy. He is still attending tech school for his job at we don't have to mention where. He will graduate from tech school in May of this year. I feel like my brother is further along in his career than me. Now, well, yeah, that always happens with younger. Like, if you're the oldest, you're the one that gets the lumps. You're the guinea pig. You're the prototype. You're the testing. You're the test tube baby. And your parents are gonna make all the mistakes. Or they'll make most of the mistakes on you. And so you're like, and if your parents are getting divorced, well, fuck, you know, where's your dad? How stable are they? Things like that. So don't feel bad if your siblings are ahead or behind you. That has nothing. You can only do the best you can in the situation you're in. So it's not a competition. Don't worry. You should be happy for your brother who's doing well. My brother gets deployed in about 1.5 years from now to do a 4 to 6 month deployment somewhere in the Middle East. I'm not too well informed on this, but I think the military jobs are more recession-proof than jobs in the civilian world. Yes, they are. With all the information I have told you so far, my question is this: should I continue to become an HVAC repair technician, or should I go to the military to work as a merit maintainer of some sort? If I don't go to the military, my mother and father would also be willing to pay for vocational school where they do more hands on the community college, but will be about $8,000. This is an option I don't feel too good about because I've already pissed away some of their money on going to college, which I never... Dude, compared to like your American, suburbanite counterparts, you paying off your debts and working, you're a saint compared to these dipshit kids that have momsy and popsy sign off on $150,000 worth of loans on a stupid degree. So I think your parents are... You may not be living up to your own standard, but I have a feeling your parents are probably a little proud of you. I mean, they're not ashamed. And if they are, I'd say they got to go and open their eyes and see other kids your age. Beep-be-dip-be-doo. Which of the two is something that would be more secure in terms of still having a job during a session? The reason the military also compels me is because when my brother gets deployed, he has to go serve. I'm going to feel like shit because I'm not serving and he is. I don't have the desire to ever go back to a 4-year school for a degree. I just want to be a good technician maintainer. Ba-da-ba-da-ba, so my brother could see. All right, and I think I asked you if you got your degree. Just me that. No, I didn't. Okay, you did not complete your bachelor's because then you could have gone in for the as an officer. Okay, here's the deal. HVAC and welding and all that other shit, sheet metal fabrication, that'll always be there. The military will not. Once you're 30, it starts getting difficult to get in. And since you can wait out for these trades, you can wait for them to come in, and then like, okay, they all of a sudden say, yeah, well, we want you to join the union. Well, then you have two, you can join the union and pursue your job, or you can go into the military. But after a while, the military will not be an option. So if you got this itch to scratch, and I understand it, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't serve, and this and that, and in my day, it was like, we saw the Iraq War, the first one, we're like, well, why would you join the military for 2 months? And then all of a sudden we had like the longest second war ever, and it's like, oh, So I honestly, I would join the military. I would do it because then not only do you serve, not only do you have that bit of pride, you get the camaraderie, and then there's a shit ton of other fucking benefits. Your GI Bill, it's going to open your eyes to other things. You'll travel around the world. Right now, you've been stuck in California this entire fucking time. And you've had your nose in the grind going to college. Nothing wrong with that. And you've learned some skills. You've been working. Honestly, even though you've trained up for HVAC and have done all these tests, I would still join the military. You find out whether you like it or not. If you like it, great, stay there. Get your 20 years in, you can still do that pension thing. And then you're set for the rest of your life. Then you come out, what are you? You're 24 now? 21? And you're 122. Yeah, you're 24, 122 IQ. You sure you don't want to become an officer? You sure you haven't thought about like STEM or composite engineering or something? I'm just saying, you know, if you get in there, think about officer candidate school. Just think about it. I would definitely go into the military, give it a shot. Absolutely. And then when you come out, okay, you get to go to a VA, your healthcare is taken care of, all the complaints of the VA set aside, you get all these other benefits, you can drop down to part-time in the Guard or the Reserves, you got your GI Bill, you can save up a ton of money, you eat, live, and shit for free. They let you shit for free in the military. You do not have to pay to shit in the military. And then you come out, and then like, okay, then you can go back to HVAC and welding and metal fabrication if you want. But you can't wait till you're 35 and say, oh, now I want to go to the military, because that option will not be there anymore. And then you'll be stuck fucking doing HVAC. And there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, it's not the military. Anyway, so I hope that helped out. That's what I would do. That's what I recommend you do. Talk to your brother. I mean, he's in there. He knows you better than I do personally. He could certainly give you some advice and pointers. But I think that's a very wise and there's very little drawback. Very little drawback to that. I mean, you're going to get your ass kicked in basic training, but I heard basic training has become like pussy world with all the girls and all the sensitive feelings and shit. But yeah, I would definitely join the military. So anyway, best of luck to you. Toodles.